Successful is that I go from these amazing houses, like $18 million houses, $22 million houses, and then you go to Thanksgiving and you realize that your family is funky. Come on. And they're asking funky questions. Come on, people. They're saying funky stuff. And you're like, that's like so far from, you know, being with these other folks and staying at the Four Seasons all over the world, that I got this funky stuff going on. But I noticed in my own life that the funky stuff, the left, has helped me to maintain my right. In the realm of God, it's an amazing thing that before he ever ascended people to do great things, he always took them left before he took them right. Because the left is a library and a sanctuary. It's a library of learning and a sanctuary of getting deeper. There's a lot of you that I follow, and I see what you guys are doing in your spiritual practices, and I learn from you. And have you ever noticed that when you're down and you're in trouble, you can't go forward and get out, you can't go sideways and get out, you can't go back, so you go up and you bump into God? So sometimes you got to get left before you get right. Yeah. But it's so easy to curse the left and try to run through it and get over it, so you can catch this thing called the right. So I was talking to Oprah Winfrey, who is actually my really cool friend. She's like a friend. And I was saying to her, I said, you know, I don't believe in chasing dreams. I believe in cooperating with what heaven already said. Amen. See, to chase something, watch, means you're trying to catch it. Watch me. I'm trying to catch it. I'm trying to catch it. That puts a lot of pressure on you, because now you're trying to catch something as though it's trying to avoid you. Your dream is not trying to avoid you. Your dream is waiting to cooperate with you. Yeah. Clap your hands like you just caught that. So anybody that runs around with me knows that I am this chill. We have about 8 companies going. We're doing movies, we're doing plays, we're doing TV shows. We're doing all these things. I am this chill. All the guys that run in my inner circle know I'm like this all the time. This is my personality. Because I believe that it's not all about me. And that I don't have to chase it, but I do have to cooperate with it. So there's a scripture in the Bible, Ecclesiastes 4:9, that says there's a time and a season for everything. Try that. Say, there's a time and a season for everything.
For everything.
A time to be silent and a time to speak. The word silent means where your life, watch, is at a whisper or a hush. A Lori Harder right now, her life is out loud. Okay? A Gerald Washington, his life is out loud. There are many people here, your life feels out loud, high volume. But some of you feel like your life is at a hush. But that's okay. There's a time to be silent and a time to speak. So the question is, what will you do with the time frame that heaven has given you? So good. So good. So if you're trying to just manifest nonstop, when you're in a silent season, you're not going to learn the lesson on the left to prepare you for your right. Because the bigger you get, the deeper you got to go. So there's a depth in your spirituality, a depth in your information of knowledge and the insight, that life is trying to get you, because your right is going to be so enormous, so powerful, so impactful, God has to take you left before he takes you right. Somebody clap your hands like you just called. So say that. Say sometimes you have to get left before you get right. So watch what happens here. I went to Little Rock, Arkansas, and I watched a guy, and he was working on pottery, and it was kind of a cool story. He was a guy from Spain. I thought that was interesting that he was in Little Rock. He was very sexy. He had like his shirt like all done. He was like an Antonio Banderas kind of dude. And so I was curious, and he liked my face. That's what he said, because you just seem like so interesting. Like, he says, "Come closer and watch." And so I was watching him as he was working on this clay. I want you to watch this. And I noticed he dug the clay from the ground, and then he began to put water on the clay, and then he turned on the wheel, watch me, and he would go through this different process where he dug it from the ground, and he put water on it, and then he began to smite the clay, and then he took a thin wire, watch me, and he investigated it for air bubbles. I said to him, "Why are you investigating for air bubbles?" He says, "Because," he says, he called me Timoteo, like in Spanish, Timothy in Spanish. He says, "Timoteo, because if I put it in the fire, if I don't get the air bubbles out, it'll either crack or explode." So now I knew I was onto something, Gerald, so I started taking notes. Because he was onto something about how we are made in life on the left. Because God is the potter, and you are the clay, and he is shaping you as seems best to him. Powerful stuff. So he investigates for air bubbles, smites the clay again, watch, and then he puts it on the wheel, turns the wheel on, and then the next thing you know, watch, the wheel is moving and the clay is fighting. The clay is fighting. And then he put more water, and he got super focused. He literally left his seat, he got focused, and he started pressing, and forming and sculpting that piece of art that would become into what he saw it becoming. Is it a possibility that there is a God who is taking you through a process, and that he is the potter and you are the clay, and he has been sculpting you as seems best to him?
Yeah.
Taken from the ground. Look what we've all gone through, man. Pain. Okay? Doused with water. I see that as a spiritual connection. Then, smitten, worked thoroughly. Think of all the jobs that we worked, that we knew we were better than that job. Who's ever worked at least one job where you knew you were better than that job? Lift your hands. Come on. I was a dishwasher. I'm like, he's hot washing dishes. I worked at a place called Miller's Outpost. Does anybody remember this? This is so back in the day, man. Miller's Outpost. And they said, like, "Timmy, you got to do inventory." I'm like, oh my gosh, the whole store. I've worked in funky places with funky bosses, and they didn't know I was going to be Tim Storey. They just treated me a certain way, but I wonder if it's a possibility that this was the process that God was preparing in my life for me to handle being Tim Storey right now. See, I believe in order to become God's person, you have to go through God's process. If you want to be your own person, go through your own process. But if you want to live at a higher level, look at me, because there is a higher level. Look at me, there's a higher level, yo. You got to go through God's process. So watch. The potter, the sexy potter from Spain, he smiting the clay, he began to work the clay, but here's what was interesting again. Watch. He was forming it, and he was forming it, and watch the clay begin to fight. Look at me. The clay begin to fight. And that sounds like you. The clay begin to fight. The clay begin to fight. That is your lower nature that says, I don't need anybody telling me what to do. I'm my own person. Come on. What is this motivation thing I'm at? Whatever. Oh, really? Isn't it amazing how, like, 13-year-olds, they got it all figured out? Come on, 14-year-olds have it all figured out.
I did everything.
So, Gerald, he starts working that clay, but he's getting very focused. He's getting very focused. I think that there's a lot of you that are in this room tonight where God is getting very focused with you, and that's what you're feeling, is that there's a need for discipline in your life, because he's trying to bring discipline in your life, because your life is so big and so powerful and so amazing. You're going to need that discipline. Clap your hands if that makes sense. So he begins to work the clay, but the clay is fighting him. Look, watch me. Watch it. Some of you guys do this. The clay's fighting him. Look. Watch me. The clay is fighting him. That's you fighting. And you're like, but I have positivity. No, you need discipline and positivity. Ooh. So he's fighting the clay. What happens to a lot of you is because you're so beautiful and so amazing, it's easy to get off of the potter's wheel, go down the road, and just spend your whole life walking like this. Come on, look at me. And you just tell us all your dreams and how amazing you are, and you know. So good. You know, if you're going to be an actress, maybe you should go to acting class. If you're going to be a singer, maybe you gotta go to voice lessons, right? Maybe you got to work at places we don't want to work. Maybe we got to deal with our goofy relatives and stay longer than an hour and a half. And drink a lot, even when you're not a drinker. You're like, give me something. That or Xanax. Anybody carry those long pills? Clap your hands like you're running. So, let me just ask you a question as a life coach. How awesome would it be if you were being prepared right now for something that is bigger than what you've ever seen?
Yeah.
How awesome would it be if you were being prepared for something bigger than what you have ever seen? Because there's a whole scripture in the Bible that says that eye hath not seen and ear hath not heard, and neither has it even entered the heart of man what God has prepared for those that love him. I was at this award ceremony with my friend Smokey Robinson, and across the stage walked a guy by the name Prince, and he walked all the way across, and he walked real slow like this, all by himself, and he came and he knelt next to me, and he said all these kind words of things that he'd heard about me and how he had been listening to me, and I thought, wow, that is really trippy. I'm sitting with Smokey, and Prince is whispering in my ear.
That's crazy.
To be at Stevie Wonder's house night after night, the Stevie Wonder, and him play piano for me. Songs of the Key of Life. Come on, people. Isn't she lovely? I said, are you really in the mood to play? He goes, Tim, I love playing for you because you get it. I said, play Overjoyed. Then he's playing Overjoyed. This is tripping me out. There are times where I'm talking to Oprah and she's got that Oprah voice. Look at me. It just throws me off. Eye hath not seen, ear hath not heard, neither has it even entered into the heart of man what God has prepared for those that love him. See, your life is about to get so big that we got to take you deep before you go high, because you're going so high, we got to take you so deep. Somebody clap your hands and Pastor D. Come on, Pastor D. Bring it out of me. Bring it out like they do in Brazil. Bring it out like they do in Colombia. Bring it out like they do in Singapore. Bring it like they're about to do in Spain. I was just a kid in Ukraine. 6,000 people. Bring it out like they do in Ukraine. We're not normal humans. Shaping you, I don't want to be shaped. Problem. It's a problem, to be honest. That's why you're living an almost life. Someone needs to go there. I can go there. I'm straight out of Compton. I will go there on you. And Gerald knows this because of our cultural background. Famous people that I deal with, I'll go there on them. That's why they keep coming back to me. Some guy last week, his manager says, nobody talks to him that way. He goes, he listens to you. I ain't scared of nobody. The reason some of you are stuck is because you will not go through the process. You think you got it figured out already. But I got to tell you something. When you're deceived, you don't know you're deceived because you're deceived. Bring that back. I don't need any help when you're deceived. You don't know you're deceived because you're deceived. Well, how do you know that? Because I've been deceived too. I drank my own lemonade before and fell on my ass. But then you have to have the guts enough to just say, you know what, I suck, now what?
Oh, come on, yeah.
Now what?
Come on, clap your hands. This crowd's alive. How you talking? I'm the family member. You're very cool. She's on the news. I'm a fan of yours. So watch. What if there was this God of the universe? And if he had this amazing plan for our lives, that he has an amazing view of what is about to happen, what is just around the corner. Do you understand that just around the corner? Could be September, could be October, could be November, could be December. Your life is about to get so good it's going to be weird. Somebody is about to come around a corner where everything is about to shift. Come on, people. Something's about to...
Yeah, buddy.
People, something's about to...
Yeah.
For real. I remember when I was a waiter, I used to count tips like this. Like this, I'd just be so excited, Gerald. Like this. Look at all these dogs. I won't even tell you what I get paid for public speaking now. But I could buy a whole car. That's my fee. For one public speaking, I can buy a whole car. Not a small car, a big car. That's a long way from where I was. Watch. The potter and the clay. The potter's working. Watch. The clay's fighting. I think some of you fight too much. I want it my way. I want it my way. Yield. 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 Because many times God will send people that their package is not like your package. They're not as cool as you. And he will want to use them to work on you, but they're not as cool as you, so you don't listen. Because it's not the package that's as cool as your package. So good. So he's working you. He's the potter. You're left to get right. He's working you. The clay's fighting. The clay's fighting. Let's reflect. How many times have you got off the wheel?
Quite a few.
I'm a date them anyway. Come on, I'm an actor. Come on, I act too. Come on, people. Kelly, how good is this? Look at me. And there you go, mosey on down everywhere. We see you at all the various spots. You with me? We know all the hot spots here. We're from LA and Beverly Hills, Hollywood. We see you at all the spots. There you go. But I see it and I have intention. It's part of it. But I need the discipline.
Yeah.
For you to handle the bigness of this beautiful life that's about to give you. That when people lie about you, you still have peace.
Yeah.
When people blog about you, you still have peace.
Yeah.
When they stab you in the back, you still have
Yeah.
peace. When your family doesn't get you, you still have peace. Clap your hands like you're going to get it. Come on, I love this clap. Can you give the last 2 minutes? Come on.